Oh, look, Florida is still in trouble with their condo market. Remember at one time condos used to be considered an affordable housing option? Well, it isn't anymore. Even if you take Florida out of the equation, they're not so cheap any longer. When you add in insurance costs and taxes, and plus their association fees, they get ridiculous.
Our monthly homeowners association fee is now
$3,371.79. This is way too high.
Over the last 10 years, they have had so many recessed fees. Some people are paying tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars just to stay in their condo.
After getting the stunning news from their homeowners association of a nearly 100% hike in fees.
If there's going to be a housing crash, and I'm not saying there is, it would probably be most likely in the condo market. And you know what I think they're going to do with them? They're going to probably turn them into rentals, apartment rentals at that.
wanting to terminate the condominium form of ownership and convert the association into an apartment complex.
But I want to know what your opinion is, because it ain't just Florida. It's all over the United States.
They're going to convert these condos to apartment rentals, which means kicking out owners who've been paying in for years. You thought you bought a home, but really you just rented with extra steps and crushing fees.
So this past month, my boyfriend and I cut down on our water usage a great deal. We saved about 500 gallons of water. I want you to guess how much our water bill went down by, though. If you guessed just over $2, you would be correct. That is how much the taxes on stormwater and sewage and everything else that's included in your water bill have gone up, to the point where you saving 500 gallons of water makes no difference, basically. Florida has become so unaffordable. And I really haven't heard anybody talk about how expensive our utilities alone have become in Florida. We've got insurance companies pulling out of Florida because it's more likely that there are natural disasters here now than not. And that's not profitable. Having to pay people to fix their houses isn't profitable, so why be in that state? You know, it's not like that's what insurance is for. And our salaries aren't keeping up with this, obviously, because why would they? Why would we need more money to survive? We're not even going to get into groceries and the cost of living in general in Florida. Utilities is just scratching the surface. This is one of the many reasons my boyfriend and I are moving to Lisbon in less than a year, because we just can't do it anymore. We can't take it anymore.
This is the kind of cost nobody talks about when they're selling you on Florida's low taxes and great weather. You can conserve all you want, cut your water usage by 500 gallons like she did, and your bill only drops by $2 because the taxes and fees on utilities are higher than the actual usage cost itself. You're stuck paying regardless of how careful you are. She's literally moving to another country because it's become that financially unsustainable. That should tell you everything about how broken the system has become.
The cost of living in Florida is absolutely ridiculous, and the pay is not matching up with it, especially for healthcare workers, specifically nurses is who I'm referring to, because that's what I know, that's what I do. A lot of my videos talk about this. A lot of people comment that I live above my means. I would like to show you a video of me. I am the person that a lot of my friends go to for financial advice because I'm very frugal, I'm very good at budgeting. I love budgeting, I love saving money, I love investing money, I love doing things like this. Can't do it anymore because I literally don't make money. But yes, a lot of my friends come to me, and this video that I'm going to attach is one of my best friends. She was moving to Tampa. She wanted my help finding an apartment that she could afford. She sent me her pay. She sent me all these things. So I said, oh my God, girly pop, absolutely. Look at this fucking shit. Okay, December 29th, 2020. This one was $13.40. I clicked on this link, and it took me here. All right, we're looking for the 1-1 that I sent her, which was this one. 743 square feet, 1-1. It was 18, but after all the additional, it's 1964. I sent her a 12-month lease. For a 12-month lease today, that is $24.61. So yeah, it's not a me issue, but thank you. Also, yes, I could get 27 roommates, or live like in Section 8 housing, or have like the cops perched outside my apartment every day. For example, my brother was trying to convince me to move to Jacksonville, and he's like, hey, you should come live here. He called me the other day. He goes, Grace, the cops knocked on my door at 4 a.m. and asked me if I heard anything. And I was like, did you? He's like, no. Apparently my neighbor got murdered and dragged down the stairs.
but you should come live here because it's cheap. It fucking be.
Just pull yourself up by your bootstraps, cut out that daily Starbucks, and you too can afford to spend $2,000 a month on a closet-sized apartment while working as an essential healthcare worker. The American dream is alive and well in Florida, folks. Love that she's the financially savvy friend everyone goes to for budgeting tips, but Florida's cost of living said, nah, your financial literacy means nothing here. You can be great with money all you want. Still can't budget your way out of nurse wages versus $2,000 rent.
I cannot afford Florida anymore. I just looked at my budget and my electric bill for December, which in Florida, mind you, we don't use the AC very much when it comes to December, okay? My electric bill for this December was more expensive than my electric bill from August of 2020, one of the hottest months of the year. Make that make sense. I used way less electricity in December than I do in August of any given year, and somehow my bill is now higher. My electric bills have more than doubled in the course of 5 years. And also, my water bill has more than doubled. And not to mention the rates of my insurance, property taxes, yada, yada, yada. It's all just gone up and up and up. I thought homeownership was supposed to be the cure-all solution. You buy a property, you pay it off one day, and then you are just fancy living, here we come. But apparently, that's not the case, as I know many homeowners who bought in Florida who are being priced out, and they have like the neighborhood fees or the association fees. Those have gone up rampantly without any sort of guardrails, and people who bought houses are just being priced out because of that alone. Luckily, I don't have those, but even I'm still feeling the squeeze with everything going up in the budget, so I'm selling. I can't afford it. And to those saying renting's not much better, I don't know, like, at least you have the mobility to leave, I guess. You know what I mean? The most frustrating thing to me is that we were all just promised this one thing when we all went to college to get the degree and we saved up all the money to make the down payment on the house, and that has not panned out. I'm not like some financial expert. I'm just some guy who just knows that his bills have gone up astronomically, and my baseline number for cost of living per month, even before groceries or like buying clothes, I know from firsthand lived experience that this situation here does not work for me financially. And when the only answer you can get as to why did my bills double in 5 years is just because, that doesn't really give me any comfort that it's going to get better anytime soon. So I'm tapping out now while I still can, because I'm getting priced out of existence here in Florida. And that's that.
He's living proof that the American homeownership dream is dead in Florida. Did college, saved for down payment, bought a house, the whole script we were sold. 5 years later, his baseline costs, before even buying food or clothes, have exploded to the point where he's selling and leaving.
It's become exceptionally unaffordable to live in our own state, to the point where the families that built our state, that have lived here for 3, 4, 5 generations, literally have to get up and move because they can no longer afford to live in Florida. I think Florida is the best state in the country. But that means absolutely nothing if the families who made it the best state in the country can no longer afford to live here.
This is the thesis statement for Florida's affordability crisis right here. Families that have been in the state for 3, 4, 5 generations are being economically displaced because they can no longer afford to live in the communities they built. These are people who just moved to Florida for tax breaks or remote work. These are the construction workers, teachers, nurses, small business owners whose families literally built the infrastructure and culture that made Florida desirable in the first place. And now they're being priced out by the very success they created, replaced by out-of-state wealth and corporate interests. He's right that Florida being the best state means absolutely nothing if the people who made it that way can't afford to stay. You can't have a functioning society when you economically exile your working and middle class.